Just real quick, please introduce yourself and what your role in season 2 of Carnival Row it was.
Erik Oleson. I was the showrunner.
So I've always wondered what exactly is the difference between, like, how do you get into show running? Like, what exactly does that mean?
Well, the showrunner is basically the CEO of a television series. So it's the top job where all of the cast, the crew, the directors, post-production, everything kind of like reports to you, and then I report to the network and the studio. It is, I liken it sometimes to having 5.5 full-time jobs. It's the full-time job of dealing with all of the executives at the studio and the network, the full-time job of dealing with the writing and the writers, and you're the chief creative officer. So you're like, I came up with the story with the writers. Like, I come up with all the lines of dialogue and everything. And then it's another full-time job doing the production, another full-time job doing the post-production, another full-time job or half-time job when you get to the PR campaign, right? That's basically what a showrunner does. You're the person who comes up with the idea and sees it through to interviews like this, all the way through every little detail.
So no pressure.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. Thankfully, the people who love me put up with it.
I'm curious to know when it comes to, because whenever you watch a TV show, you always have, obviously the characters and the story that they're going through, but then you kind of have the story of the world that they're in and all that design. So I'm curious, is there a difference, or is one harder than the other, designing like and coming up with the story of the world versus the story of the actual characters?
Well, without getting into the weeds of screenwriting theory, although
Yeah.
because we don't have enough time for how to do it, I build it around a controlling idea. So a lot of the world existed because I took over season 2, and a lot of the characters of this world were already kind of set up. So I got to take the show in a direction that I wanted, and explore ideas that were interesting to me and to the other writers. So we built it around the idea of a central question of, are we defined by our DNA, or are we defined by what we do? And how do we stand up to social justice? Is it with love, or is it with hate? Is it with working the system from the inside, or fighting back against the system with violence? And so those then become the character arcs of the relationships and the individual characters. And at the same time, the decisions that each of them are making are having knock-on effects in the world that they're living in. So the setting and the characters and the relationships and the fantasy, all of it kind of weaves together and becomes the whole of a tapestry. But I'm a very in a writer's rooms, I'm a planner, not a pantser. Like Stephen King talks about being a pantser, where he kind of makes it up as he's writing and he doesn't want to know what's coming next. When you're managing a television show with 1,500 crew members, and you need to know what sets to build, and you need to look an actor in the eye and say, here's where your character is going, I don't have that luxury. So I actually plan ahead how all of those various pieces are going to come together, and then work backwards and forwards kind of simultaneously.
Sounds like a lot to juggle, so and keep track of.
It is what some people have called a wall of crazy in my office.
So I did watch season 1. I remember most of it. I need to go rewatch it a little bit before I watch season 2. I did watch the trailer for season 2, and it looks fantastic. Like, I watched it and I was, hooked. I was like, I can't wait to see this. What are you most excited about for fans to either see or experience with this?
Sure. I think that there's a juicy role for every one of your favorite characters. Every single character that you fell in love with in season 1 gets the chance to shine and play an important part in how the story of season 2 comes together. So I think there's something for everybody. And there's really great scene work between brilliant actors, and there's also massive spectacle and fantasy and action and suspense and intrigue. There's a lot of different flavors to season 2 that are going to keep you on the edge of the seat, and you're not going to know what's coming next.
Nice. I asked some of the other actors this, but I'm gonna ask you as well. With working and managing such a huge production, I know a lot of times actors take little keepsakes or mementos from a TV show or a project, movie, whatever it is. Is there anything that you kept as a memento, or did you get your full fill working and keeping track of everything?
Yeah, no, I wish I'd snagged some of the props when we were done, but I just my job really never ended until I'm still working on Carnival Row right now, and I've been on it for 4 years. So there was never the moment where I was like, "Oh, it's over. I'm stealing this prop, and it's going to go into my office." Like the actors were like, "Oh, we're done filming, and it's over." But I had another year and a half of post production ahead of me, so I didn't want HR knocking on my door saying, "You weren't supposed to steal the office supplies, Oleson. Give them back." You know.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, and I am so excited for season 2. I can't wait.
Oh, good. Thank you for watching. Thanks for chatting.
Thank you.
Erik Oleson, showrunner of season 2 of Carnival Row, and you're listening to JeanBookNerd.com.